shit, okay. It is an actual child. Now we got this pile up of cars, and sure enough...
Ma'am, please!
We go to talk her off the ledge. She breaks in the usual diatribe.
We're late. It's already past 6:30. You jackass.
Your mind's already gone. The next thing you know, she's mentioning that someone's rising from the grave in the passenger seat, oozing out their life force and ceasing to be. Welcome to Twin Peaks. At this point for me, it's like coming home from college. There are so many places from this world etched into my mind. The Double R, the Great Northern, the Sheriff's Station, the Roadhouse. The nice, gentle, ear-hugging twang by Angelo Badalamenti that turns into a cool, breezy synth sprinkled over images of crystalline, Pacific Northwestern wonders. It's so dang inviting. You almost forget that the homecoming queen's in a body bag. She'd been murdered. Watching Twin Peaks is like getting ready to toss pigskin, but only by the time it leaves your hands, you're tied to the goal and the pucks between your legs. We're here for Laura Palmer, but the next thing you know, we got drug running, insurance fraud, reverse insurance fraud, grooming, a supernatural war waged between an unseen evil and a town's secret society that hides out at a library. It's great.
So beautiful. Who would do a thing like that?
A few more episodes, I got a list going. But the biggest surprise...
Douglas Firs. Can someone get me a copy of the coroner's report on the dead girl?
It makes me believe in something associated with the FBI. Dale Cooper is just so dang infectious. The chocolate bunnies, the damn, the good, the hot coffee pot. He knows JFK was bullshit. Free Taiwan, Buddhist bottle breaking. I love this guy. At the same time, he's so good at what he does and gets down to it when he needs to. The show is so in sync with his personality. Like, we're discussing arson, homicide, and attempted murder over a humming barbershop quartet.
About the mill. Well,
this is just how it's done. Hawk being on point about the miracle of women. Nadine's...
what the hell kind of two-bit operation they got run
out
of
the street?
Give yourself a present.
The show follows its own advice and adds much-needed levity to...
What's her name? Laura Palmer. Laura Palmer.
That first season's so good at stacking and interweaving the storylines. Not all of them are equally as interesting, but most have a role in determining Laura's killer. Bobby's pushing drugs for Leo, who's directly connected to Jock, who promoted Laura in the magazine. Norma's married to a hitman. Josie hires said hitman to lure her sister-in-law to the mill, and Ben hires Leo to burn it down, all while Josie's dating the sheriff. Audrey discovers that Ben, her father, runs the grooming operation that brought Laura to One-Eyed Jack's face-to-face with him at the same time Coop and the boys are arresting Jock for Laura's murder. And all along the way, we come to find there's a lot behind that yearbook photo, and a lot of it isn't good. Adding characters to this already big ensemble actually makes some storylines more compelling. The James Donna arc, it's probably my least favorite in the entire show. Add Laura's cousin that looks exactly to the actress like her and have her help sleuth around. It's one of the most interesting in the entire show. She's Laura. She hangs out with her best friends, lives with her aunt and uncle to support them, breaks her glasses in half, plays with this goob's heart. Although I'll give James this, like if a dead ringer for my dead girlfriend came into town and I, along with my current girlfriend, made her dress like my dead girlfriend to further my investigations into her murder, I'd probably be a little fucked up too. What? Speaking of fucked up.
Fire, walk with me.
Hell does Norma put in that cherry pie? It's hinted at a few times, but the end of season 1 really pumps the idea full of 007 type lead, you know? Cooper, like all of us, is vulnerable. Though the FBI has control of the investigation, there may be some things outside his control. There's something bigger than him at play. Or it could be the fact that I was just, pegged with James Bond's gun and I'm faded. Whoa. My ring is actually gone. One of the things the giant said came to be. My dreams are now real. And I'm pretty sure I laid off that cherry pie. He was there from the beginning, but he's here. Bob starts to become more prevalent as season 2 starts up, and the scenes with him are... He's not even in this image, and I'm booking it out of the room. The overall presence becomes suffocating. People closest to Laura start telling their stories. The people closest to Laura start seeing shit. People that look exactly like Laura.
You can see it. The gifted. And the damned.
He's just being nice with his gifted shit. You're all dead. Plank's grandma starts talking. Donna can't even see Bob, and she's fully interacting with Mrs. Tremont and her magic grandson, who we come to find out later don't exist. The government is even catching on. That's when you know we're doomed. Our main boy, Coop, is more rattled than ever with constant hints at one of his demons. More on that later. Speaking of demons...
Are you looking for secrets?
The Diary of Laura's B-sides, kept by a shut-in, just adds to the tension created by the first season's investigation into who she was involved with. Between Donna manipulating Harold and Maddie feeling like she has to be Laura for her friends and parents, she's more alive than ever.
And every time she tried to make the world a better place, something terrible came up inside her and pulled her back down.
Every time James, Donna, and Maddie try to do something good and contribute to the investigation, Jacoby, dummy. Harold, dummies himself. Maddie. This is where everyone starts to shit on season 2, including the man himself, because how do you follow that? The Evelyn storyline? How'd you get so good at this? I could turn a wrench if you didn't know what I mean, Toots.
No. Terrible. Erase.
I like this guy, though. Windom Earle is very compelling. The way Coop stops dead in his tracks at the mention of his escape. The reveal that he's his former partner, the pen pal chess, all while they're still solving the Laura case, is a good seed of doubt. And now our boy loses his badge, is in danger of losing his freedom, almost loses his life again, and just lost a pawn. The game comes to life at the same time Coop's demons do. Earl's wife died on his watch, in his arms, in his heart, and more will too if he doesn't make a move and beat this guy. Something he never did in 3 years of playing chess against him.
Now it's my turn.
He's not Bob, but he brings Cooper's fear to life, out there, incarnate. The way every move weaponizes emotional baggage, sending articles of Carolyn's clothing to different police stations, his first pawn having her maiden name, the poem he hand-delivers to the girls in thirds being a poem Coop sent to Carolyn, the bugged bonsai being a present from Josie while Harry's mourning her, and the ultimate plan, to kill one of the girls Coop is protecting while he watches. It's not hard to figure out who he's trying to be. I mean,
I'm a man of my word.
Personification of Coop's growing fear that he isn't in control. Major Briggs told him that if the choice is fear, he could become vulnerable. Coop says that he's seeing beyond fear, but between this Black Lodge, confronting your shadow self stuff, him almost dying again, the loss of his badge, it gets to him. He can say,
I'm A-okay.
but we know he's not the same. Early on in season 1, what he wanted and what he needed were two different things. Now, he wants the Windom case. He wants small town Heather Graham. Fair enough, I would too. What he needs to do to solve the Owl Cave thing, we'll just put a pin in that. His desire to not live in fear rather than conquering it with all that's happened overcompensates his better judgment, and in the process, he gets blindsided like we haven't seen before. How we get there is dang messy. None of the other storylines interweave like they did in the Laura case, which makes them pretty pointless. Now, Ben needing a Confederate win to escape his insanity, Eckhart's box just being a long con kill, Nadine becoming a mutant Super Saiyan wrestler for no goddamn reason, that's all fun, but it's only fun. And when it's not fun, it is only not fun. Also, why is Briggs their biggest asset in finding the Black Lodge and someone Windom worked with on a project related to the Black Lodge, taking a stroll in the woods with Windom on the loop?
I believe that Windom Earle has targeted the Major.
Oh, really? And the way they figure out how to get into the lodge comes together so abruptly fast. The Jupiter-Saturn astrology. Why Cooper doesn't listen to Andy about the map when Andy basically kick-started the astrology theory is weird. The 12 sycamores, the Glastonbury Grove, the oil being an opening to a gateway, Ronette coming back to sniff and have PTSD. It's a bunch of shit. But anyway. Coop's fear incarnate has led him to the home of fear itself. The giant has not missed, there is no cherry pie to be found, and with Coop at his most vulnerable, it's time to face the music.
And I'll see you, and you'll see me, and I'll see you in the branches that blow under the sycamore tree.
We spent most of the second half of this season trying to explain the idea of the Black Lodge through the lens of human understanding. Briggs in national security terms, Windom treating it as a power to be harnessed, even Hawk's reverence and fear of it. But now that we're here, my dream is now reality. It has gone night terror ever so quick. I am bleeding profusely. My girlfriend is now my dead girlfriend, is now the dead girl, and he's back. And he ain't harnessing. He being harnessed. There is fire coming out of the monkey's head. That's a Gorillaz song narrated by Dennis Hopper, who was in Blue Velvet. How is that funny? It is not. I'm getting the hell out of here. Cooper outruns his fears, and Annie's gonna be okay.
Annie!
That doesn't sound right. There is Fire Walk with Me in season 3, but I'll talk about that next Halloween or in like 25 years.